Well, owning a Euro car is cool and all until it comes time to where you need some special parts that aren't in American cars. And then you see the prices of said parts, and it's just a slippery slope. But welcome back to the long-awaited second episode of the 635 CSI project. We got it here in the garage. Last episode, we got it running. We got it driving, and then if you remember, that test drive ended rather poorly. We developed a stuttering, bucking, no power issue. And I've done my bookkeeping in my head of previous cars, and I remember back to the E12, one of the very first series I ever did on YouTube. If you've ever seen those videos from back in the day, there's a couple things that happen when a fuel system goes bad, and the surging bucking is one of those things. So this episode, we're going to be conquering the fuel system of this car because there's going to be some things we're going to have to check up on. So we have a few parts here. We have a fuel filter, we have a fuel pump, and we have what gave me the hardest issues in finding a Euro 635 CSI sending unit for the tank. So American cars came with tank, pumps, and sending unit combos. Euro cars, at least 85s, came with just a sending unit, similar to kind of, I think, what E12s came with. This part, no longer available. 2 for sale I could find in the world, 700 plus on eBay. That is a joke. We were not going to spend that. Luckily, I got in touch with a gentleman in Europe who sent me this for 120 bucks. Lifesaver. If you remember, this car didn't have a working temp gauge or a fuel gauge. Well, when we get back there, you'll see why I bought one of these, because it's atrocious. So let's hop back there. We're going to start up here, and then we're going to get underneath the car and get to that pump and the filter and see what those look like. This isn't the issue for the bucking. I think that is a clogged / bad pump and filter combo. Let's get back there and see. Okay, so I've already dug in here, and that's why I knew what to order, but let's just check this out really quick. Let me get these fuel lines undone. Previous owner found that the tank was really rusty, so he took it out and cleaned it. So he took the liberty of me not having to do that, which is good, because that's not really fun. And I have looked in there. The tank itself looks all right. There's no loose floating rust. But now check out what this sorry sending unit looks like. What the hell is this? So first off, this is supposed to have a casing on it with a filter, which I thought was missing, but it's actually here in this box he gave me. But that doesn't matter, because this is supposed to have a bunch of wires that run up it, and that's how the car has a fuel gauge. And every wire is broken, missing. This is basically obsolete. Not to mention, it is so rusty to where I wouldn't even want this sitting in my gas tank. So that's how I kind of knew this car was due for a sending unit. This thing is not in good condition. And if a working fuel gauge is something, I'd kind of like to have. So this can go straight to the garbage. And then I'm going to come over here and clean this up. And then we can just install the new one. Simple as popping it in. We don't got to do any intense rebuilding or anything like that. I'm going to do one more check in here, make sure that the tank is appropriately clean. So here is, as I said, our new unit. Let's pop this in. And then there's going to be one particular way it will go. And then we got to twist it. And I think it was as easy as that. Yup, that's in. Alright, let's see. Oh yeah, look at that. Half a tank we got in there. Alright, that's cool. So I thought the cluster had SI board issues. Turns out it just had bad sending unit. So that is great news there. Otherwise, I think every part of the cluster worked. So now let's see if there's any leaks. No sir. No leaks here. Now we can throw our cover back on with the seal. Okay. I have to take the pump down regardless, because it's likely that the pump itself will be clogged before the filter. I can't remember if this is the outlet side of the filter. No, the inlet side of the filter, which makes sense. Check it. I don't know if you'll be able to see. Tainted yellow. So that's rusty water right there, or rusty gas. So that means that, and you probably can't see on camera, but the inlet here has some rust residue. So that to me, I believe, is the pump is clogging with residual rust and it's jamming into the filter. So my guess is when we get this pump out, it is going to have rust all through it. So it's going to be very hard to show, but you see that right there? That rust streak? So the inlet of this pump, and again, you can't see it on camera, is full of rust. Rusty fuel stuff. And that's why this pump was running very loud, because it is definitely hurting. Not to mention it's a Euro parts part. So this is kind of a junk pump to begin with. I didn't buy a brand new pump for it. I have a spare, used, confirmed good one that we're going to be popping in. And like I said, all the fluid or all the fuel that's coming out of the line now, since the tank's been cleaned, is clean. So I think this guy just didn't flush it out enough. An easy to do mistake. Oh yeah, look, you could see the, wait, watch this. You could see the residue that's coming out of the pump when I jam it. So look, white paper towel. Look at that. Look at the rust that's coming out. Yeah, this pump is jammed of rust. That's why it was so loud. That's why the car is not running good. I think we pinpoint our issue rather easily here. Okay, we got the new pump, new used pump, and the brand new filter installed. Hose clamps are on. Now we fire this thing up, check for leaks, and then we can wrap this up. And while we're under here, we gotta do some exhaust bushings, so we'll grab those in a second. Alright, took a long time to prime, but she primed up. This pump sounds nice and quiet. You can't hear it groaning anymore. You used to literally be able to hear the pump struggling, like a dry pump. So that's good to know. 1, 2, 3, and 4 lines, no leaks. Here's the condition of the intermediate hangers. And here was the condition of the muffler hanger. You could see the size that we put on there, how circular it was. This thing was stretched and ripped. So we're gonna lower this thing on the ground tomorrow, once we got some daylight. We're gonna take this thing for a spin and we're gonna drive it hard. And this bad boy better not start bucking on us, otherwise we're gonna have issues. Alright, we got the 6 Series ready to go following day, and it fired up. I got it out of the street here. So in my diagnosis of the issue, given my experience, I was about 90% sure I knew what the issue was. Finding the evidence within those parts, I am now 99% sure I found my issue. But now is where we will find out if I was right and if that solved all our issues with this car. As earlier, it fired up, it drove, but flooring it is when you had issues. So get these windows up. Let's see what happens. As I believe I mentioned in this video, I found out that this is a dirty M30 car, which, if I haven't explained it, means that it is a high compression 10:1 M30 B34 with a hot cam similar to the B35 cam, or it is the same as the B35 cam. No cats from factory, no O2 sensor from factory. So I truly don't know how this car operates. I don't know how the ECU works. It runs damn good though, so I'm not gonna question it. Or at least it idles good. But let's see, man. We got this thing up to temp here. I want to see. Oh, so far so good. That was about a 3,500 pull. Let's see what she does. Will it go all the way? I ran out of room. Hey, no cutting though, so that's a good sign. Differential bushing needs to be replaced. It's clunking, so that's a shame. but oh yeah. Look at that, pitching all the way to red line. Yes. Oh my goodness. Yeah, dude. All right. Well, hey, I made it this far in the last test drive though, so I'm not sure if I can for sure say that we're all good, but so far. Oh yeah, dude, you really, this thing feels crazy. So I've had a few 635s and 633s. Never have they felt like this. They always feel good for what they are, but not like this. This thing feels impressive, dude. Wow. And it really, I think that's the cam coming into action. It has great off the line torque, but then it kind of slow, climbs normally. And then as soon as you get above like 5,000, 52, 5,300, it's almost like a Vanos is kicking in. It hits you a little bit harder, and it really pulls. I think that's where the B35 cam in the B34 kind of takes off. The power stays higher up, but dude, this thing feels impressive, and it's running really good all the way to red line, further than the last test drive. Let's see, we'll do a little first gear here. I think, dare I say, I think we might have gotten this old thing fixed up here. All right, let's see, a little first gear. Oh, there's someone in the middle of the road. All right. I wish I had a working speedometer, but like that's impressive. This thing feels really good for a 635. I would probably argue that a dirty M30 car is as powerful and as quick as a 635 can get, or as quick as an E24 can get until you hop into M6 territory. I think, I'm gonna look it up, the power numbers this engine makes are insane. It's like 10 or so horsepower less than a B35, which is crazy. Super cool to see that what the European edition cars came with back in the day. We got an 8-to-1 M30 B34. 8-to-1. This thing is 10-to-1. That's insanely different. And you can tell, because even right at 4 it hits you, and then right above 5 it hits you again. And it sends you back, and it's really crazy. Dude, this car, woo, my tires are not good for that braking. This thing rips, dude. Woo, she wanted to kick out right there. Oh yeah. Hey, looks like my high confidence in the repair was justified, because this thing is absolutely shredding right now. No issues, no cutting, no bogging. Looks like residual rust in the components is exactly what the issue was. I knew that from my E12 days, and I kind of figured it was the same thing here. The guy said he cleaned the tank, said he replaced the pump and the filter, but if you didn't flush it out good enough and those lines and stuff, you're gonna have residual stuff. So the tank is clean, there's nothing in there, the components are all new, and she is one happy puppy. So I'm very excited, because I was kind of getting worried that something was majorly wrong with this car. No smoke, no nothing. This is a fun car. Like it pulls and it pulls and it keeps on going. Like that had to be like zero. That had to be like 80 right there, like easy. And then 635s in of themselves, nothing new here. They're sporty, but they're like toury, so they are kind of like sporty looking boats. Like they're not all that like tight and firm. And this thing needs some suspension work. The Bilsteins are brand new, and this is shocks, but it needs some love on the like dog bones, and the tires are from 2001. They're the TRXs, since it's a Euro car. So those are all kind of going to have to be adjusted there, or messed with. But for the most part, drive, like power wise and that stuff, it's really good. It feels very impressive, and that's a plus. I'm just glad I got it fixed. I'm glad I got to experience a dirty M30. I mean, this is a really rare engined car to find in America. Like, I don't know where you would get something like this. And it's cool, man. It's wild. As someone pointed out in the last video, this thing was converted to R134 in '96. So when I said it was brought over in 2001, I was wrong. It was brought over in sometime between 85 and 96. I don't know, because it's still got US like bumpers and stuff, or yeah, US bumpers, but it has it's stock Euro drivetrain. So wherever it was in Virginia, it didn't care about emissions, and yeah, but this thing is awesome. I really like this drivetrain. The G265 shifts like butter. Overall, very solid. It still needs a few things here and there. I need to do a diff bushing. I need to do dog bones, tires, but otherwise, like, we're pretty solid on this car. So I'm very happy. But thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this quick little fixer-upper on the 635 and first real drive. This thing has the absolute stamp of approval. This thing is badass. Yeah, so I will see you guys in the next episode. Thanks again for watching. Peace.